Hello and welcome to our little chat that we're going to have now with Stereophonics. Embracing technology, we're going to be able to speak to some people in the comfort of their own homes, and they'll be able to see us here as well. So here are the Stereophonics. Say hi, everybody.
Hello. Hello.
We look like we're in a boy band. We're aware of it.
Yeah,
I'm the token
colourful.
through my front.
Hey.
Children's TV presenters. So I've got a ton of questions which I'm going to throw to all of you here. And we'll start off with one that's come from 13-year-old Joel from Stafford. Hi, Joel, if you're watching now.
Hello, Joel.
He says, I go asking and I play some of your songs. Hope you don't mind.
No.
I must owe you a few quid by now. I was wondering when you wrote your first song and what you wrote it about.
One of the first songs we wrote, which you would know, would probably be Billy Davies' Daughter or A Thousand Trees or some of those songs off Word Gets Around, and most of them were about small town stories. We tried busking outside the pizza place in Swansea, but we went on the wrong night. We didn't go on the late night shopping night, so we only made 37 pence. So it wasn't very successful, was it?
We didn't make enough money for our supper.
No, you can't buy much for 37p,
We
can
didn't
you?
even get the free buffet. It's terrible.
At what age were you when this was happening?
5? No.
Twe-
about 17, 18?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
possibly.
We're going to speak to somebody in their home now, and let me just have a look. We're going to talk to 20-year-old Laurie Close. So, Laurie, hi. Are you out there? Can we have a word with you?
Hello, yes, I'm here.
Hey, Laurie. Nice to see your
Hey.
face. Right, you can see the Stereophonics. They can see you. What do you have to say to them?
My first question is, what is your biggest achievement as a band so far?
What's our biggest achievement? Probably still being around is a big achievement these days. So to be still doing this after 17 years, I think, and still people buying the records and coming to the shows is a big achievement for us, I think.
Why do you think that's happened? Why you? Why are you so special? How have you managed it?
It's all about work and good looks. That's all.
Laurie, would you agree with that?
Definitely,
Yeah.
definitely, with all of them.
Oh, no exception at all.
Jamie's there on the end.
Look at Jamie. and his Okay, Laurie, hopefully that did for you all right. Thank you. It's lovely to see you. Lovely to talk to you.
Thank you so much, thank you.
Yes.
Thanks, Lloyd.
Bye.
And we have another question. This is from Callum at Buchan, who's on Twitter, and he asks, what inspired you to write graffiti on the train?
I was at home and I kept hearing footsteps on the roof of my house, and I thought there was somebody trying to break into the house. And it turns out when I caught these guys, they were trying to get to the train track behind the house to graffiti the train. And that led on to a story about why people would take so much risk and to leave their mark on the world, really. And it went on from there. So that was the inspiration. Some people climbing on my roof at a late hour in the night
Yeah,
when they
what
shouldn't
time?
have
What
been.
did you-
It was very late. It was about 2, 3 in the morning.
Scared you
Like,
to death,
I
should
opened the
think.
window and I said, "Hey chaps, on my roof over there, please be gone."
You didn't say that, though, did you? You didn't say, hey, chaps. You
said-
swore at them.
I did swear at them.
Youths.
I said, "Hey, you youths, off my roof now."
Get off my roof. Another question from Wayne Riles. He wants to know, if you formed a supergroup, who would you have in your band, alive or dead? So let's start from this.
I'd have
from the right.
I actually know my supergroup. It's
Okay.
called The Voice of Vega. And it's got
Good
got
name.
me in.
Oh,
It's
here we
got,
go.
it's got Richard in. And it's got Tony, the keyboard player, in. And that's it.
And Ron Burgundy on flute.
And Ron Burgundy on
Ron
on
Burgundy,
jazz- on jazz
wonderful.
flute.
It was a
Yeah.
jazz quartet that we made up.
He made it up. So
Ah.
it's a little go.
I was ill one night on tour, and they went out and told everybody they were in a jazz quartet, and that was what they were called, the Voice of Vega.
The voice of Vega.
Vega.
Vega. Okay, fine.
Voice of
We're going to
Vega.
speak to somebody else in their home. It's Ryan. Ryan Boot is also 20 and lives in Essex. So Ryan, you've got a question for the band. Hey, Ryan.
Hi Joe, hi guys.
Hello, Ryan.
Hi. My question is, out of the 8 studio albums that you've released, which one are you most proud of, and which one is your most favourite?
Well, for me, I really like the first album because of all the memories attached to it. First time making an album and stuff. But the new one as well, you know, the Graffiti on the Train has been a completely different experience for making records in that way, and we didn't expect the reaction from it at all. And I think we learned a lot making this album. I don't know what about you.
It's funny with albums because you attach memories to them as well, especially because you're in the studio recording them and then you go on tour. So yeah, for me, I think it's LSVO. We tried to like change what we was doing, change the look, change the vibe of the band, and I think we succeeded.
Was that okay, Ryan?
Yeah, absolutely brilliant. Thank you very much.
Ryan, are you a big fan of Stereophonics? Presumably you are.
Oh, massive fan. Even bought my own leather jacket.
No way.
Yeah.
Do you make music yourself as well?
No, I don't. I'm no good at that. No good at that.
Okay, just a lover of music. Thanks, it's
Yeah,
lovely to talk to you. Thank you, Ryan.
Thanks very much.
We have an email now, and this is from Lizzie, and she emails on behalf of her friend La, who's recovering from an operation. And she says, this is on behalf of La, what's your favourite song? La's is Dakota, and her granddaughter is named after it. So let's start at this end.
My favourite Stereophonics song?
Yeah. Well, no, actually, I don't think it means... Well, no, maybe it does mean that, yes.
I'm going to say Billy Davies' Daughter.
For
First
what
song
reason?
I heard. First song I heard from the Phonics.
Okay, Rich?
I don't know. I got so many different favourites. I'd go for one off the new album.
Would you?
Yeah, I'm gonna go for "Take Me" off the new album.
Will you be playing that tonight in the concert?
I don't think we will be.
Oh,
No, we can't. No.
Why?
We need a guest vocalist.
Guest vocals.
Oh, is it? Who's...
Jackie sings on it.
That's right.
What's
Jackie, your other half?
Yeah, she did. Yeah, she popped into the studio one day. We did a demo. We kept it.
Keeping it in the family. Okay,
Yeah,
your
we did
favourite song?
Uh,
Stereophonics song?
Probably Local Born Photograph. That was our first single, which I think was you that played. We were in a van on the way to a gig in Leeds, the Duchess of York in Leeds, where they fed us lasagna in a dog bowl. But we felt really big on the way there because you played our track on the radio.
Oh, exciting. Okay, and your favourite Stereophonics song?
Oh, I don't know what my favourite is.
Probably.
Don't really like the band, do you?
I'm not a fan of it, to be fair.
If you had to, though, if you really had to choose a song,
Uh,
the one that you hate the least.
I think Roll the Dice is my favourite at the minute, which is off the new record.
Okay, because it's new and it's exciting and good to play.
Yeah, well, maybe. I just think it's quite different. I like.
Okay, that'll do nicely. Sandy joins us from her home in Rill.
Hey.
Sandy, hi. Stereophonics are all yours. They're here, and we
Hello.
can see you now. Hi, how are you?
Hello. Ah.
I'm just
Oh, we're
Oh,
having
no.
trouble hearing your question, Sandy. Do you want to have another go?
Okay, you're back on again now. Okay, so have you ever played the B-side to Step on the Old Size 9's live, Shoe Shine Boy? And do you think you could play it at one of the gigs in November?
Did you get that question?
I did, yeah.
Okay.
Shoe Shine Boy. I may have played it on an acoustic tour, but I don't think we've ever played it before. But there's always time. Yeah, we could play it.
Now
yeah.
you've suggested it.
Now you've
It's an
suggested
idea,
it, yeah.
so maybe
No,
we might take it up.
November, possibly. You never know. You never know.
Give us enough time to learn it.
Give us enough time to learn it.
Hopefully I'll be there.
Top one.
Okay, thank you very much, Sandy. In Real. Another question, another fan, and this is Emma, and she also emailed, and she says, "What's the funniest thing that you've seen at a gig that the audience has ever done?"
Well, I think one of the ones that's fresh in our memories was Pink Pop, where there was a man naked standing on somebody's shoulders wearing a pink wig, and that was recently.
That was very entertaining.
That was entertaining.
There was toy soldiers in the V Festival as well.
That was good.
Toy
That was good.
soldiers.
You know, like the ones in Toy Story.
Yeah.
There was 5 guys very committed to walking around like this all day, dressed like these toy soldiers. They were amazing. They were probably some of the best ones we've seen.
And the Naked Man on Shoulders, was he there for the entire set?
He was there
was it
for
just one song?
He was there for one song, and he just stood full length and he was naked. It was distracting.
Did you comment on him?
I did comment on him, and on the V Fest this weekend after we commented on the soldiers, this woman decided to get naked and I thought that was an outfit, but they were real. So
Was that distracting?
that was very
I
distracting.
thought it might have
Yeah,
been.
it felt like the 1970s all over again.
Another question. This is from Howard in Doncaster, who wants to know, Kelly, do you do any vocal exercises or drink anything specific to lubricate your vocal cords?
I never used to. I just used to sing a few Temptation songs in the dressing room, but recently I've started to do a few warm-up things. I found this guy on YouTube that used to teach Michael Jackson, and there was a few scales he does warming up. So I've started doing that last few months, and it's helped quite a lot, actually. I don't know why I haven't done it for the last 16 years, but I felt it was quite helpful.
Because you've got older now and you've learnt that you have to take care of your voice.
Yeah.
Let's talk to Jane. She's at home in Halifax. Jane, what is your question?
Hi.
Hello, Jane.
Hello.
What is the strangest place you have ever wrote a song, and what song was it?
Oh. I don't know. Probably an aeroplane.
That must be quite a good place to write songs, though, because you have very little distractions.
Yeah, I remember being on a plane on a runway once, and they told us the wing wasn't working, and everybody got quite nervous, and we drank a lot. And they had to fix the wing with the
Just gonna get a new wing
with
for
the
the plane.
Phillips, the Phillips screwdriver.
It's not working, lads.
You can bear with
So
us.
I think I wrote the song "Jealousy" on that day from "You Gotta Go That's Come Back."
I find
the
sitting
plane.
on the toilet is quite therapeutic with
Jimi
a guitar.
Hendrix.
Do you?
I do.
Jimi Hendrix.
You know how to Elvis as well?
Yes.
Yeah, maybe take heed.
Good reverb in the bathroom.
It is.
Okay, Jane, thank you very much indeed for your
Thank you very much.
Okay, and another question now. This one is from Callum, and he said, oh no, we've got Callum already. Geraint, he's a head teacher in Neath, and he's emailed and said, how do you think your experiences and achievements can be used to inspire children to achieve their dreams? Are you aware of that responsibility of being role models? I don't know, role models, maybe that's the wrong word.
But I think since I've had children, I'm more aware of it. When you see my daughter's friends in the schoolyard who know Indian summer, they come up to you and they ask you stuff about music and things, and they want to learn to play the guitar, and they want to learn songs like Dakota. So, I mean, for us living in a small valley, it was nothing there apart from factory work or working in a shop or a mine or whatever. So, I mean, music was a way of escape and expression. So, if we give that to younger kids, I think it's a good thing. Whether it becomes professional or not, it doesn't really matter. But if it makes people want to pick up an instrument, I think that's good.
Do you feel the same, Rich?
Yeah, exactly. You know, like if we inspire somebody to do something out of the norm, I think, you know, like we're doing something right within ourselves then.
And who was it who inspired you when you were in that small mining town and trying to make music in the beginning? Who are the people you looked up to?
I don't know, my brothers and sisters always played a lot of music, and for me, I was always inspired by bass players, so I suppose Andy Fraser from Free was a big influence back then.
Okay, another question to Sarah, who's on a webcam in Cheshire. Sarah, hi, you there?
Hiya.
Hello.
Hello.
Hiya.
Would you like to ask your question to the Stereophonics?
Okay, my question is, have you ever been starstruck? If so, who was it and why?
Okay, let's work along the ranks here. So if we start at the end here.
Oh, don't start with me. I've got to think
We'll
about
start at
something.
the end here. These two are going to sleep at the end
He's
here.
starstruck now.
Who have you been starstruck by? You must have met. You must go to
Okay, I'll
festivals.
go on. Lionel Richie. He knocked on the door. I opened the door and it was Lionel Richie, and he said, "It's you."
Hello.
I could have had that.
Sorry.
I could have had that one. Sorry, man. That was it. Lionel.
He said hello. Okay, Rich.
We went to a small studio in Atlanta once, and we got to see two of the members of Stone Temple Pilots play, and I was pretty starstruck by that because they were one of my favorite bands growing up. Yeah.
Did you speak to them, or did you just
We
want to watch them?
Yeah, we spoke to them. We had photos with them, and yeah, it was really good.
Excellent. Okay. Have you thought of someone
Slash was I was quite starstruck when I met him. I got a bit nervous and I called him by a name that his granddad used to call him.
now? Which is what?
Saul.
Saul. That's his
And
name.
I was in the Rainbow and I was really drunk and I walked up to him and I just said, "Hello, Saul," and he just looked at me and went, "Only my granddaddy calls me that." And I went, "Okay." It's a bit embarrassing.
Good answer. And Kelly.
Well, just to wind Adam up, probably Al Pacino in a
Al
part.
Pacino.
Yeah, I was standing next to him in a queue in a buffet in a party in LA once, and I was told he was coming and I didn't believe it. And then my friend said, "Al Pacino's standing behind you," and he was standing there talking to George Hamilton, and it couldn't be the most surreal moment I've ever seen in my life. So I just wanted to phone him and tell him.
He rang me while he was
I
in the party.
think you text everybody.
I text everybody, every Al Pacino quote I could think of, say hello to my little friend, all of them. And they're like, "What do you mean?" I said, "Oh, it's just my Al Pacino."
We met AC/DC as well in the Kerrang Awards one year.
Yeah,
And that was pretty good.
that was starstruck. Yeah, that one was.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Did you speak to Al Pacino? Hang on.
He said, "What's that?" I said, "I think it's the beef." He said, "Is it good?" I said, "I think so." I said, "Are you leaving now, Al?" He said, "Yeah." I said, "You just had twins?" He goes, "I got kids everywhere." And that was it. We walked out together and I went, "Get in."
The best Al Pacino impression that I have never seen.
Yeah.
Hopefully that answered your question. Sorry, you're still there, aren't you? Was that okay?
Yeah, that's perfect.
That was a good question, though. Good answers. Thank you very much indeed for that. And another question from Agatha, who's emailed from Poland, and she says, "How was your time in Poland in June, and what were your expectations before coming here?" So when you knew you were going to Poland, what were you thinking?
Can't remember Poland. Can't remember it. Been a lot of places.
Okay, good answer. Honesty is what we're looking for here. Anybody remember Poland?
I thought Jamie said
Poland.
Roland then.
I can remember Poland. I think it was
Did
a
you have a
festival.
really good time in Poland or
Yeah,
something?
it was good. It was the first show of I think the European festivals. I think. And it was really good.
Kelly,
I
have
agree
you been
with
to Poland?
I have been to Poland quite a few times, and like Richard said, I think it was the beginning of the European run, and I can't remember who else was on the bill that day, but we've done a
30 Seconds from Mars, I think we're on.
30 Seconds to
No,
Mars.
he was
Okay.
he was the one with Kiss, I think. Was
Oh,
it-
that
was
one,
the
yeah.
No?
It was hot. We've
No,
done a
we-
lot.
Adam,
We've done a lot
Adam
of
saying
festivals.
no.
Been around a lot. Right, let's go back to Karen in Essex on the webcam. Do you have another question, Karen? We have a question. Karen, I know you're out
Karen
there.
has left the
Speak to
building.
us. Okay. While we try and get Karen, we should ask another question. Don't shout at her. You'll scare her. That won't be nice. Carl from Accrington, Carl Pate from Accrington says, will Kelly pen a solo album again in the future? This is what the rest of the band want to know.
Yeah. No, I mean, no, I didn't plan the first one. It only came about because the record companies got sold. We'd finished our album, and they were 6 months before we could release the next one. So they were all sitting on the couch as I was doing this. So it wasn't exactly a solo project.
I was in like you were.
Yeah, we were in the studio as it was being recorded. So.
Yeah. No, I've got no plans. I'm happy in the band. So.
Yeah. Why wouldn't you be? Sharon in Oxfordshire has emailed and asks, you've done some amazing covers, some better than the originals. What would you consider? No, would you consider releasing an album of cover sessions?
Well, I never thought about that, really. We've got a lot of them in the bank. We used to record a lot in hotel rooms and on buses because when we first started, you'd have to do the CD1 and the CD2, and you had to have like 6 songs every time you released a single. So we did a lot of Stones and Bob Dylan and Neil Young covers and stuff. So maybe if the next album's a flop, we'll bring the covers album out.
Are there any recent songs that you've enjoyed covering or you're thinking that you could do a good cover version of? Because I know
I did Lana Del Rey video games for Sun Sessions. That came out really
good.
well.
Yeah, happy with that.
We've done the Foo
Foo
Fighters
Fighters
one.
Best You on the live lounge.
And
Yeah.
we've done Creedence out in France. That was good for a spell on you.
Okay, another question. We're going to go to Vicky now. Hi, Vicky.
Hiya.
Hello. Right, 3 questions on
Hello,
the Stereophonics.
Vicky.
Hello, you can see them, yeah?
Yeah, yeah.
We can see you.
Excellent. Right, well, my question is, I want to know, can you see yourself performing still, like at the age of 70, like Rolling Stones did this year?
I'd like to still be here at 70. Do you reckon?
Yeah, as long as the body's fit and the mind is active, I suppose.
What do you reckon, Jamie? Do you reckon you'll be doing it when you're 70, mate?
Yeah.
Yeah, no,
What else?
hell yeah.
What else is there?
Is it something you worry about that, there should be an end to the Stereophonics and you should actually maybe call it a day at some point, or you just keep on going on, you don't think of the future?
It's a worry if you don't try to develop with the age you're at. I think you have to kind of move your music somehow. I always like Tom Waits and Neil Young and people like that, or Nick Cave, who they move their music along with where they're at in their life. I don't think trying to be 22 all your life is right. So as long as you kind of go with it and it stays cool along the way, I think there's room to do it, I hope.
And what did you think of the Stones at Glastonbury?
I thought they were good. I saw them in the O2. I wasn't at Glastonbury, but I thought they were great, yeah.
And what about physically when you're playing? Is it more of a strain these days than it was 20 years ago?
I feel
15
way
years
better
ago?
now than I did when I was 24.
Are you fitter? Are you
I'm definitely
genuinely
fitter
fitter?
now than I was when I was 24, yeah. I was like a little fat Rottweiler when I was 24.
Rottweiler?
Yeah, I was quite angry as well.
Do you do any exercises before you go out on stage? Is there any? Because I know quite a few bands do. I think there's a photograph of Mumford and Sons, and they were doing like limbering up, doing stretches before Glastonbury. Yeah.
How old are they?
They're younger than you.
Yeah.
Younger than all of us.
Yeah,
go for a run.
we tend to try and keep fit, like book hotels with gyms and what have you, and it's something you've got to do really because you spend so much time traveling and sitting down, just wouldn't look good.
So what do you do? What's your sport? Your workout routine?
Running and cycling.
Cycling?
Yeah.
You fast? Do you do endurance?
He does a lot of charity
I
races,
do
old Rich, yeah.
sported, 100 milers and bits like that.
Wow. Blimey. How much does your bike cost?
Lots.
Lots of money. Okay. Jane, what's yours?
Playing shows.
That's your sport.
You wouldn't believe it.
Takes it out of you.
Like 2 or 3 marathons. 5 songs equals half a slice of cake. That's how I judge everything. So I know how much cake I can eat at the end of the show.
It's all
By how
about
many
cake and
songs we're
gin.
playing.
It's all about cake and gin.
That's how I roll.
And what about the workout regimes here?
There isn't much going on.
There's
there,
not a lot of
to be
sport
fair.
going on.
No, I've been running lately,
Okay.
which
From?
Yeah, all from.
He isn't working out well, to be honest. It's not working out.
No, not happening.
I'm putting weight on.
That'll be the cake
The
again.
more I run, the
Kelly,
more cake I eat.
What about you?
I just do a bit of running. I haven't done it for a bit though, to be honest with you, but I do running or a bit of swimming.
Okay, what's your stroke? Best stroke?
Front crawl. Yeah, I'm quite slow on the breaststroke. I realised my children are better swimmers than me, so I had to start putting in a few hours in the pool to actually catch them.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Another question from Sarah in North Allerton. Do you wait for inspiration to come to you to write your music, or do you set time aside specifically for writing new material?
A bit of both, really. If I've written a record, I don't tend to try to write a lot in between. I rather wait for it all to come in a big batch the next time I start, and it's almost like once you turn the tap on, it all kind of comes again. So I tried to do a little bit of dabbling along the way on the road, but it's different on every record. I used to always write on buses and planes and stuff, but now I just seem to wait for the next batch of songs, really.
Okay, we'll go to Laurie, who's got a question. Hey, Laurie.
Hello. Oh my God, this is the best thing ever. My second question is, which album is the most personal to you as a band lyrically, and why?
Probably the first one, and You Gotta Go, Let's Come Back is probably the most personal. A lot of the albums become quite narrative or whatever, but I think those two were quite from the first person a lot more. I think, yeah, the first one and the fourth one.
Okay,
yeah.
Why was that? Well, the first one is
first one because
evidence.
I'd never been anywhere, and it was just writing about what we knew, and the fourth one was the first time I left Wales and that life in Wales and went to live in London, broke up from like a long-term relationship and almost started a new kind of life, really. So I think that came out in that record quite a lot.
Okay, yeah. Laurie, thank you very much for that. You're enjoying today, yeah?
Oh my God, I love it. I love it.
Have you seen the Stereophonics many times before?
I've seen that this is going to be the 11th time in November the 16th at Newcastle. But I've seen them at V Festival as well on Saturday, and they were absolutely fantastic. And I'm getting a tattoo saying Stereophonics on my foot.
On your foot?
Yeah.
Which foot?
My right one.
Your right one.
Okay, fine.
Yeah.
What's he going to say?
Just Stereophonics, because I can't pick any lyrics. I just love them all. So.
Oh.
But thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Laurie. Okay, we can go to Ryan now, who's also got a question. Hey, Ryan.
Hi again.
Hello again.
Hi. My second question is, you haven't performed at Glastonbury since 2002. Just wondering if there's a reason for that, and if there's any chance you might be there next year.
I don't know what the reason is.
They haven't asked, have
they? They haven't asked. We headlined it and we never got asked back. I think the Evises need to come out and check out some of the festivals we've been playing and see how big the crowds are and how amazing we are playing at the minute. And maybe they'd have a great headline act next week.
Yeah, certainly do.
What would you choose? Friday night, Saturday night, or Sunday night if you were to headline?
What did we do last Saturday? Yeah, Saturday was good. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I loved Glastonbury. I think we played it 3 times. We haven't played it for a while. Yeah.
Okay, so you'd be open to
absolutely, yeah.
Okay, there you go.
Open to offers. Yeah.
Michael and Emily, you know
where we
for
are.
a band, you know where they are. You know who they are. 18-year-old Conor McKessie from Lincoln has emailed and he said, "How did you decide on the direction of your latest album, the vibe of it?"
I don't think we did really. I think the only thing we decided on this record was we didn't want to go on tour for a year, which was the first time in 16 years, and we'd made our own studio and we just went into the studio day, made music and wanted to see how it would naturally unfold, and I think that was the best way to make an album. We haven't done it like that since our first album, so it kind of happened by accident, and once we found songs like Violins and Tambourines and Graffiti on the Train, it kind of led the direction and off we went, really.
Okay, we go to Jane, who's got another question for us. Hi, Jane.
Hi again.
Hello.
What is the favourite song that you to perform on stage live?
What's your favourite
Good
song
question.
to perform on stage live?
Bartender and the Thief.
Bartender and the Thief.
I don't know
Yeah,
why.
I love that one.
Oh, do you like that one, Jane?
Yeah.
I don't know why.
I love that one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It gets people bouncing up and down, doesn't it?
I like dancing
Yeah.
that one as well.
People get bouncing
a
up
lot
and
of
down.
movements.
What about you, Jamie? What's your favourite song to play live?
I wouldn't believe your radio.
Wouldn't believe your radio?
Yeah, that's fun.
Because it's fun for you to do. You've got
It's a
such
lot
a
of fun.
twinkle in your eyes.
Oh, it's the way that they've lit me today. It's not usually there.
No, well, you demanded it, so you
Usually
know.
it's cold. It's dark.
Well, cold, dark,
Yeah.
dead.
I feel sparkly. It's them.
It's these
His
shoes.
toes.
It's the
His
reflection of my shoes in your eyes. Jane, hopefully that was okay. We're going to go to Sarah now.
Thank
Sarah,
you.
hi.
Hiya.
Hello.
Hiya again. So my question, my brother's just had his GCSE results today. So in honour of that, what's your best memory from school?
Did he pass?
He's done brilliantly. A's and B's and A stars.
What's his name?
Glenn Clark.
Glenn. Well done, Glenn.
Memories
Memories
of
from school. I want to hear what James got to say about this.
I don't have many memories of school because I didn't attend. They asked me to leave.
At what age?
14 or something.
Because
just because I would be, it would be called the class clown in nowadays terms.
But the reality was
the class clown.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, and it didn't really suit the way I was going anyway.
Because you just wanted to be in a band?
Yes. Well, I didn't realise that later, but what they were saying didn't quite agree with what I was thinking. So I let them know, and then they let me go.
And look where you are now.
And now I'm here, yeah.
Rich, what about you? Memories of school?
Pretty much the same as Jamie. I wasn't the best at, like paying attention, and I left pretty early. I think I left at 15. But yeah, there's some great teachers there, and I loved things that were creative, like English with the writing, and you had some great English teachers. And
That's so important, aren't they? They really are, those key teachers. Your memories of school, both of you? Did you?
I occasionally went, and when I went, I enjoyed it. But again, they asked me to leave.
Really?
Yes. They did.
What was the final straw?
Corporal punishment.
Okay, fine.
That was enough. It was out. Get out.
Really?
Yeah, in the end.
Okay, and Kelly, for you?
I just liked arts and history and English, basically, for me. I was terrible at maths and all the rest of it. Yeah.
I guess this is inspiring to people who are watching now who haven't done so well at school, and they can look at you lot and think, well, it's okay. Thank you for all your questions, your contributions. It's been lovely to talk to you, lovely to see you, and we'll say goodbye from here from the Stereophonics and the BBC Radio Theatre.